is the retake. I've let you know at least a month in advance that yes, we are having a retake in class. That doesn't mean you should have wasted that opportunity you had to say the first time. All right. So either way, we're retaking it tomorrow. Should you ever need a retake after that, it has to be approved by me, and then you would have to come to tutoring. So do better tomorrow in class during the retake, so that way you don't have to do that. Otherwise, everyone is retaking the 100-point portion. No one in here got 100%. Well, not 100%, but an A the first time on that portion. There are 3 of you that don't have to do the constructed response because you got an A the first time. Does those 3 know who they are? Okay, so John, Tyson, and Chris, if I try to give you a blue paper tomorrow, tell me. I will probably forget that you guys are the only ones that don't have to retake that portion. All right, everyone else has to retake that portion. So that's why I set up a Kahoot today. No one really asked me questions on the constructed response. So I set up a Kahoot to go over that portion. But if you still have a question from the 100-point portion that you need resolved, now's the time to ask. So going once, going twice. All right, by the end of the school day, I'm going to make the test not able to view anymore. So any corrections you need to do on that green paper, the green paper is the only thing I'm letting you use tomorrow. So if you need that, let me know. But you should already have it. What else? Then you just have your study guide, which is also aligned to the test. All right, so here's the Kahoot. Let me pause this. This function models the cost of metal X years since 2011. Does the cost increase or decrease over time? So you do have to explain your answer everywhere that it tells you to. So that could be showing you work. In this case, you have to probably write a sentence. So what part of the equation tells us if it increases or decreases? The part that has the exponent attached, because you could technically write it in a different order or put parentheses around the other one. So whatever has the exponents attached is what you look at. So if it were a times b to the x, you look at the b. Stop talking. Remember, b, if you're given a percentage, is 1 plus or minus r. So how do you know if it's increasing? If b is greater than 1, then it must have been the plus, which means that it's growing. If b is less than 1, then it must have been the 1 minus r, which means that it's decaying. That's what matters, not what the initial amount is. You don't care that it started at 80, that has no difference. So questions on that? Some of you gave me some weird answers. Like one of the answers was, it increases because the cost of metal gets more expensive as the years go on. Okay, no, it has to be math related. There's evidence in the equation that can help you figure it out. Okay. Next one, let's see who's in the lead. So Tyson, Michael Lloyd, and Caden so far. The same function as before. By what percentage per year does it increase? You would think. Part of your test, your constructed response. Don't forget to justify your answer tomorrow when it asks you to justify it. It's probably not viewable. If you just give me the percentage tomorrow and you don't explain, granted this one didn't ask you to explain, but tomorrow it will, then you only get 2 out of the 5 points. So if you know the answer, you think it's easy, make sure you also just follow up and give a reason why. So how do you know what the percentage is? So we look at the B again in our equation, right? We know B, when it's a percentage involved, is 1 plus or minus R, right? And we already established that it's the 1 plus since it's growing. So if that became 1.09, what must have been the R? 0.09, yes. And Isabella, how do you convert decimals to percentages? And we gotta pay attention. How do we convert decimals to percentages, class? Easiest way is to multiply by 100%, which then gives you the 9%, which is the answer. Not this. Okay, I got answers like that, and I'm sure you thought you were right. You weren't. Okay, you have to convert it to the percentage and back and forth. All right. So then the next one. All right. Same function as before. How much does an ounce of the metal cost in 2015? I don't even do that. I forgot. But I feel like it's like 25 minutes. I don't really know. So if you rounded incorrectly on the test we took Tuesday, then you got 2 points taken off. Like if everything else was perfect, you just rounded wrong, I only took off 2 points. Just to know that if, and this was worth, what was it, 10 points? Yeah, this chunk was worth 10 points. So, if you were to get it wrong, say like on the ACT or ACT Aspire, it would mark it completely wrong. So that's why rounding is important. So for this, how do you solve it?
Plug in 4 and then check.
Where in the equation? Good, and I know X is 4 because it says X is years since 2011, and we're solving for how much it cost in 2015. So what's the difference between 2011 and 2015? 4 years. That's how you know what to plug in. So plug it into the equation that was given to you, like that, and then from there use a calculator. By the way, showing work can count as your justification because tomorrow it'll be on paper and I'm really only grading the paper part for this. So show your work and then you'll be good. All right, but here it is. And since we're talking about money, rounded 2 decimal spots. And the rule is that you look to the right. If it is 0 to 4, the number where you have to round that you underline stays. If it's 5 and above, you give it a shove, you round up 1. So that's why the final answer is 0.93, not 0.92. So questions there? And please don't give me this long ass This is the attorney. That was gonna say something else, but then it came out like that. No, that's not what I was going to say. Please don't give me that long decimal. Because that doesn't look like. All right, so questions, comments, concerns? All right, whatever helps you remember. All right, next one. All right, given this function and these coordinates, what's the value of b divided by c? This is worth 10 points on your test tomorrow, so don't leave this one blank because you think it's hard. We've done it now maybe 3 times. This will be our 3rd time doing it. We have 15 seconds. Sorry, I know someone else complained earlier about the time. So that's why you shouldn't leave your constructed response for last. Because some of you really do this part in like 5 minutes. So sorry if there wasn't enough time. Remember, you get an hour tomorrow to complete both portions of your test, so just make sure. So to solve this, you need to know that coordinates are always in what order? X and then Y. So then when it gives us the coordinates, I know 3 is the X, D is the Y or the output when we get 3. And then 4 is an X, D is the Y when X is 4. So then now you also have the given equation. All I really have to do is plug this into the given equation like this. All right, so anywhere that there's an X, first we're gonna plug in 3. And then that'll give me what C is. And then I'll plug in 4. And that'll give me the value of B. But then don't just stop there. You have to then do D divided by C, and yet order matters. So I'm gonna put this in the calculator now. So if you're jotting it down, you'll get it off the calculator. Guys, can you simmer down, please? Oh, wait, well, it was 4, huh? Sorry. See, that's why you should write it down and then put it in the calculator. All right. Stop talking. So this is my C because 3, when it's in the X position of the equation, gives me this for the C. This gives me D because it was paired with the 4 for the X. And remember, it's D divided by C. So make sure then you do the 2019.84 divided by the 504.96. So D divided by C, which you found from plugging in your input. And you get a solid 4 as your final answer. So you need all the parts. You need the final answer for sure, and then you need some work shown or justification. And so showing work, don't just say you put it in Desmos. Show me that you plugged it into the equation and then divided it. All right. I think this will be the tiebreaker if there is a tie or anything close. All right, you have $50. Would you rather have a bank account that grows by 200 a year or an account that grows by 11.5% each year? Yeah, there are wrong answers. It really just depends how much time passes. So even though you might have noticed some trends on the test or on your practice or something, you have to do the math to really know for sure. And even though I taught you that eventually the exponential will be worth more than the linear, it depends how much time passes. Because like, what if just 1 year passes? Which one would you rather have? The first one probably because you'd have $250. If you do 50 times, also, what is this as a decimal? 115. And then you add into the one that is you have to do when it's a percentage. So you do 50 times the 1.115, and then you get something close to like $57. Approximately, I don't remember if it's just 1 year. Which one would you rather have? You have to do the math to figure it out. Again, this is assuming that. You guys know how to make the equation? It's always the one for the year. You need 260 for the linear. For this one. All right.